Good morning. This is the morning after completing my onboarding process with Walmart. And as you can see, I have joined the cult. So, for those of you looking to get on with Walmart, I'm going to go over my experience a little bit with you. I've been driving for 5 years. I've done private fleet with Dollar General, delivered to their stores. I was on the fresh side, delivering frozen and refrigerated goods. Before that, I worked for a general freight company out of Fort Worth. That's where I got my start, went through their school, stayed with them for 15 months maybe. And then most recently, I was with Crete, running Walmart Dedicated. But ever since I got a taste of private fleet and dedicated stuff, I really enjoyed that a lot better than OTR and general freight, So anyway, been looking to get off the road. I was regional, and I just want to be home, man. I want to be home every day. I got a couple kids and been married for a while, so I just want to be home, man. Anyway, started applying to different companies. I got my endorsements. I got my TWIC, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm ready to go. Maybe I'll get a hazmat tanker job, do a fuel delivery, do this, do that. And started looking for different companies. And, man, one of the problems with this industry is you start to realize it's not what it used to be at all. You put in your time over the road, OTR, pulling reefer, pulling dry van, whatever it is. And the issue you run into, man, is you realize, like, man, I got my experience. I got a clean record. What the heck? Like, why can't I find a job that pays really well? It's not easy. And the thing I ran into was, you could have your hazmat tanker, you can do fuel delivery, you driving overnight and doing touch freight. I mean, you're putting a hose in the ground, you're touching freight. These fuel delivery guys, man, make $25 an hour. Like, yeah, they're getting a lot of overtime, but $25 an hour, man, like, God. Class C guys make $25 an hour, Like, anything under 30 for an experienced Class A driver, it just doesn't feel right. So anyways, I applied to a bunch of different companies. The good paying companies out there, especially if you live in a city where these jobs are available. I live in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There's jobs available, but drivers who know, and those jobs are not easy to get. And you got companies like Old Dominion, R&L. A lot of guys don't like running doubles and triples, but man, if you're running doubles and triples and you're running hazmat with those, dude, you're making nearly $40 an hour. Like, they pay well. So, sometimes you gotta step outside of your comfort zone. But anyway, those two companies, Old Dominion, R&L, and then you got your private fleets like Costco, Walmart. These are the high paying ones, and I've been applying to all of them, and Walmart called. They sent an email. So they sent me an email and said, when would you like to schedule your phone interview? So went ahead and scheduled it. Got the call the next day. We went through the thing, like, hey, do you meet all these, baseline qualifications? Do you have, 3 years of experience? No preventable accidents or incidents within the last 3 years, clean record. And you can't have more than two moving violations, I think, within the 3 years. And those are some of the baseline qualifications. And then, of course, like your background and all that stuff and your drug test. So, went through that. Now, I did have a hang up going through the background and the DAC and all that stuff, MVR. Well, the thing that happened with me was Crete had mistakenly, and people are human, man. It's humans that are putting in this information into the DAC reports and everything. So mistakes will be made, and a mistake was made with mine. And that's kind of the messed up thing about modern day trucking, is that one small error in your report could completely take you off the table for a consideration at some employment opportunities that you're trying to get. And that's what happened to me. So I think a day or two into the background check, they sent me an email saying, like, sorry, we cannot consider you for employment because of a preventable accident. And so I immediately, I got on this right away. got a call. I called the third-party company that Walmart uses for their MVRs and background checks and everything. I called them and explained the situation to them. They said, okay, you know, we'll go ahead and start the appeal process. And, you know, just, so I let them know basically, like, I want to appeal this. Next thing I did immediately was I called Crete and I said, yo, like, what the heck's going on here? And they were nice. Everybody was, you know, everybody was professional. Just a little tidbit, side piece of advice. Be patient with people, you know, it's not their fault. Like, whoever it is you're talking to on the phone, it's not going to be 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10. It's not going to be the person that messed up whatever it is that's messed up, right? So just be patient, be professional, be kind. People will help you out, man. You know, just relax. It's all good. Like, things happen. It's okay. So it happened to you this time. So, you know, you're no better than anybody else. Things happen. It happened to you. Deal with it. You know, just move, just be resourceful. See what your options are and use them. Anyway, I had an incident in when I was with Crete. It was a non-preventable hit and run. And so I called Crete and I was like, hey man, like, you know, this was a hit and run. Like, this was definitely a non-preventable. Like, there's nothing I could do about this. And they said, they checked on it. I think I was on the phone with them for like 10, 15 minutes. And they got back to me and said, we're so sorry. It was human error. It is non-preventable. We're going to fix it right now. It should be, it should reflect on your report within an hour. And I was like, all right, cool. I immediately called the company, the third-party company that Walmart uses, and got it cleared up with them. Let them know, like, hey, be on the lookout, please. You know, it got fixed. Sorry. And then I called Walmart. I called my recruiter, sent her. I couldn't get a hold of anybody on the phone. Again, things happen, guys. Like, this is just the way the corporate world is. Like, you know, you're not dealing with your dispatchers, who even they are hard to get on the phone sometimes. You're dealing with, you know, HR people and corporate people and, you know, recruiters and all this stuff. It's not going to be easy to get people on the phone. So if you got an email, shoot an email, but also, you know, call. And I called multiple numbers, and, you know, I was being persistent and, you know, staying on top of it. And that's how I got past it, you know. So finally, you know, I kept asking for updates and emails and following up like day after day. I think it took like maybe a week. It wasn't until early the week after this little hang up happened that I finally got an answer back, and it was not the answer I was looking for. The email I got, basically, it looked like an automated email to me, so I'm pretty sure it was automated. It said that, sorry, we're no longer we're considering other candidates, please reapply, et cetera, you know, the typical stuff. And so I was like, doesn't feel right to me. So I called, and I actually I called the DC that I'm trying to get into. And they were like, no, talk to HR. I talked to HR and like, oh, you got to talk to your recruiter. And I was just like, all right, like getting a little bit of a runaround, but hey, man, you know, again, be patient, be kind, be respectful. It's all good. And so I emailed my recruiter, and there was other people that were BCC'd. So I just included everybody in the email. And I was like, hey, like, what happened? I got this email. Is everything okay? Like, you know, if I'm not being considered, like, I'd just like to know why. I didn't hear anything from them for like 2 days, I think. And then I get an email. They didn't reply to my email. They just sent a completely separate email. And they were like, hey, congratulations. When do you want to start your onboarding? Do you want it on this date or that date? And I was like, all right, cool. Like, we're going to move on. That never happened. So we're good to go now. So I went ahead and just scheduled my onboarding. I made sure that it was, I gave Crete 2 weeks, and then, you know, start my onboarding the day after. I think it was like short a day or two of 2 weeks, but it was all good. When I talked to my terminal manager, she was like, you don't even got to do 2 weeks. Like, you're good. If you ever want to come back, you know, like, you're welcome back. Like, we would love to have you back. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, thank God, man. Like, you know, this is, by the way, like, work ethic, your work ethic and your attitude, man. If you can provide those two things and be cool with everyone in your office and just be dependable, you know, be hardworking, be dependable, be efficient, they're going to love you, man. You know, wherever you go, you can have a good experience. This has been my experience. Like every company I've worked at, thank God. And obviously there's hangups, you know, and everyone's human, including myself. And, you know, sometimes you don't say or do things you wish you would say or do. You would have done or said things a little bit differently. Anyway, but that's the key is like your work ethic, your consistency, and your attitude. You know, if you can do those things, anywhere you go, they're going to love you, because it's hard to find all of those qualities in a driver, you know? And so if you can be all of those things as a driver, man, they're gonna put you on a pedestal, you know? I wish they would put you on a pedestal with your paycheck, but hey, that's the world we live in. Anyways, so set up my onboarding and put in my 2 weeks. Onboarding day comes. So I live close enough to the Regional Development Training Center. That's what Walmart calls them. They have these whole facilities with like a shop set up and backing pads and all this stuff, specifically for training and driver development and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just new people that are there. It's like current Walmart drivers that are trying to get certified to become driver trainers and all this. Like it's a super professional setup, you know, like a lot of companies put on this front, like, oh yeah, we're professional and we're this. And what you hear in orientation is like, oh yeah, like these guys are super professional. And then when you get down to it, it's like, everything's sort of just like willy-nilly, fly by night. Not like, it's all still legal, but it doesn't match up to the level that they hyped it up at, you know? So, but Walmart, yeah, man, like it definitely, that those high expectations they set, they meet those high expectations for you, you know? Anyways, I live close enough, so I just commuted back and forth from my house. If you live over a certain mileage, they'll pay you mileage, but I live close enough to where like, they were like, no, sorry, like you don't qualify for the mileage. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I just want the job. So anyway, Monday starts. So first day, get into onboarding and let you know what to expect. First day, they set your expectations and you go through all the corporate stuff, HR videos, the harassment stuff, and, just corporate stuff, you know, typical corporate stuff. You go through all that, but they also set your expectations or for what they want to see out of you on the assessments, how they want to see the assessments done, how to do them successfully in order for you to pass onboarding and get officially fully hired by Walmart. So there's 3 assessments. Now you do each of the 3 assessments each day, right? So Monday, there's no assessments being done, but they will show you, like one of their instructors, you'll go out to a tractor and trailer, you'll go around and he or she will show you the whole pre-trip, exactly how they want it done, and set your expectations completely for the pre-trip. Now I will tell you, one of the comments or the observations that my classmates and I made is that this feels like we're getting our CDL all over again. Like it's that kind of energy, you know? Difference is obviously we're all experienced drivers. So, but if you treat it like that, you will get through it 100%. Go in with that same level of humility you had when you went in to go get your CDL, right? Like they're trying to get rid of all your old habits. Like your Class C driving experience does not matter, you know? And that's kind of the thing. Like obviously your experience matters. Otherwise Walmart wouldn't have considered you, but, have humility, be humble, understand that like these guys, the instructors, they've all gone through this process and driven. And so they know what they're talking about. Just do what they say, man. Like, even if you don't necessarily agree with everything that they're saying, just do it, right? Just humble yourself, keep your mouth shut, and just do what they're saying, you know? Now, not to say that they're a bunch of hard asses. They're actually all extremely professional, very kind, very respectful. By far the most professional and courteous team of people I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with in the RDTC. Like they really set your expectations, not just for the job and what's expected of you as a driver, but also as far as conduct goes. Like they're just it's like a breath of fresh air, man. Like these guys were so great. You know, I'm a truck driver and a lot of us, we cuss like sailors. I did not hear one cuss word out of these guys the entire time I was there. Like it was a breath of fresh air, you know, it was nice. Would I have preferred that everybody cuss and be normal and stuff? No, actually, I preferred this. Like, it was kind of nice, like, hey, we're professionals and let's act like professionals. Anyways, where was I? So they set your expectations. They show you a pre-trip. They show you how they want it done, how to do it, and get through it successfully, pass your pre-trip assessment. And they also, on that same day, the first day, they'll show you a backing. So your pre-trips, your assessments are pre-trip, backing, and driving, obviously. And so they show you a pre-trip, and then they show you a backing, an example of how they want the back done. Now, so a little bit about the assessments. Treat them like you're getting your CDL, right? Like the way the DOT tests were. So your pre-trip, do it like a DOT. Now with Walmart, it's a little bit different, right? Like they emphasize certain things more than others. So, you're going to go through the whole truck and trailer. You're going to do the coupling and uncoupling process, and you're also going to do tandems, sliding tandems. So if you don't know about that, just look it up on YouTube. Sliding tandems is super easy. So anyways, there's 7 things during the pre-trip they call majors. Now these majors are, if you miss any one of these things, like regardless of how you did on the rest of the pre-trip, it's an auto fail. You're done, right? The good thing about the pre-trip is you only need to pass it once during, so each assessment you take 3 times, right? Once each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, possibly Friday, depending on your performance. If you can get through everything to their standards by Thursday, you're good to go. If you didn't, if you meet certain other requirements, you can come back Friday, do it, get through Friday, boom, you're home free. Anyways, pre-trip, treat it like a CDL DOT pre-trip. Do not miss any majors. Prioritize those first. As you're doing your walk around, prioritize the things that they tell you are majors, right? And there's little things you may have heard, like twisting of the lug nuts. Yes, those are majors. You got to do every single lug nut. So tractor and trailer, all 100 lug nuts. You got to put hands on them and turn to the left. So it's the way it is. You can criticize. You can have your opinions about it. If you want a job at Walmart, humble yourself. Hey man, I'm checking to make sure these things aren't loose. What human being is going to be able to twist a lug nut on a semi with his bare hands? No one, but if it's loose, hey man, you found it. So anyways, make sure you get your majors, right? Prioritize those. Work that into your routine. And they'll show you a routine that works really well. I followed that routine. And I actually failed my pre-trip the first 2 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, failed both of those times. First time, I forgot to do a tug test, of all things. Like, I never miss a tug test when I'm out in the real world, but here, under pressure, I missed a tug test. So just relax, slow it down, right? Next day, I missed tandems, checking my tandem pins and the handle that make sure it's in the locked position. Didn't do that, failed that day. Thursday came along, got everything 100%, passed all 3 of my assessments, home free, didn't have to come back Friday. So, yeah, that's what I recommend for the pre-trip. Study hard, get your verbiage down. Like, don't let yourself, get your tongue loose, right? Like, follow the verbiage that they give you, and you realize, like, what a lot of drivers mistake with the pre-trip is they go too into detail, into whatever items they're checking off that list, right? Like, you're if you're under the hood, you're like, my airlines and hoses have no ABCs, they're not leaking. It's like, relax, man, just slow it down. The way I did it, I was like, airbox is secure, windshield washer reservoir is filled and not leaking, cap is tight, fan blades are all present, fan is not damaged, belts are not cut and frayed, no excessive play. Like, just keep it short and sweet. As long as you hit the verbiage that they're looking for, or close enough, then you're good. So just make sure you get the verbiage down to where you're flowing through it nice and smooth. Don't miss your majors. Now, backing was, I gotta say, like, even though I spent a year and a half backing into multiple, like $10 or $12 generals every single day, maneuvering inside those parking lots that are not meant for a sleeper cab and a 53-foot trailer, this backing was a little challenging. You have to get the trailer parked between 2 other trailers with about 12 feet between them. Now, that's plenty of room between the trailers. That's not the issue. The issue is how much space you have to maneuver for a setup, right? So If you follow the way they set up, because they'll show you on the first day of onboarding how to do your setup. If you follow their setup, you do it the way that the instructor shows you, because they'll tell you, you don't have to set up this way, but we promise you this is the best way to set up. If you do it like that, you're going to be fine. So just follow their setup and listen to their instructions, follow their, their advice on how to do it, and you'll be good. You got to get the backing. You got to be successful twice out of the 3 days you do the assessments. You need to be successful on your backing twice, and one of those days needs to be a Thursday. If you fail any of your assessments on Thursday, you got to come back Friday and make sure you pass all 3 on Friday, because they will put you through all 3, not just the one. This is Walmart. Like, the standards are high. So, and then the driving, you got to pass all 3. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Pass driving each one of those days. You'll be good on Friday. If you miss it on Thursday, but you pass Tuesday and Wednesday, you got to come back Friday and pass all 3. Walmart's got super high standards. They pay well, so they want high standards. They got a good CSA score. They're, like, you're driving their trucks and their trailers on the road. They don't want their drivers giving Walmart a bad rep, So anyway, yeah, that's the backing. Now, as far as driving goes, it's like treat it like your DOT driving test. Don't hit any curbs. Follow all the laws. Don't run any red lights. Don't speed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they're going to take you down a course that's challenging. It's like your CDL DOT test, but this is different in that you've already got experience, right? So they want to kind of put you through the ringer a little bit. Like, for example, they took us down some like tight right turns, and you're, like, when you execute that right turn, a lot of times, and we're in a busy area, like very, very congested traffic, lots of construction, like every obstacle that you stress out about driving in the city, we went through it. So cutting those right turns, sometimes you got inches between your tandems and the curb. Don't hit the curb, that's how you pass. So just do your best and you'll be fine, God willing. That was my onboarding experience. And of course, you're going to do a safety presentation on one of those 3 days. That's another thing I noticed about this company is that everyone is passionate about it, man. Everyone's happy about it. Like, I've gone through safety presentations before, and the instructor, she told us, like, stop me if you have any questions, if you have any comments, like, we'll talk about it. They encourage engagement. Like, you sit through a safety presentation or a safety meeting, and drivers start talking, and you kind of feel like the instructor's like, oh God, I just want to get through this. I just want to be done. All these guys are asking these questions. I've answered these questions a million times before. You don't get that with these people. Like, this is a crazy thing. Like, it's something I noticed over and over with every instructor I talk to, is that they don't have like a negative reaction to your engagement, and like drivers opening up discussion about safety or driving or et cetera. They engage too, like, and they encourage it. And like this lady, dude, 3 hours was this presentation. And it wasn't because the presentation was that long. It's because we were engaging. We were talking and asking questions and asking for clarification. How does the camera work? And when does it activate? And what about if this happens? What if that happens? And dude, she was totally cool with all of it. Like, she had no problem going into detail, answering questions. And like, once someone asked the questions, we had a little discussion. She'd sit and kind of look at us and be like, hey, like, anything else? Like, does anybody else want to throw something in or have a question about this? Cool. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, just very, very open, very, very accommodating, like she had no problems. We started at like 1:20 in the afternoon with the safety presentation. We left at 5:30. That's when that's when it was done. So yeah, just a level of professionalism within the trucking industry I have never witnessed before, ever. So yeah, that was basically it, man. Thursday came along, did all 3 of my assessments, passed every one, and then they sort of did our sort of graduation type thing. And that's when they gave me this cool cap right here. That's right, repping now for the elite fleet. And they gave us this little thing. I thought this was really cool. It's like a little trinket type deal, but I liked it. I don't even know if I should be showing you guys this stuff, but they didn't say anything about these videos, so. Got this little guy. They said this is a challenge coin. Now, I've never been in the military, but apparently it's kind of like a military thing, so. I was like, hey man, that's pretty cool. I kind of like this. It's got a little bit of weight to it. You know, it's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, that was my onboarding experience, guys. You know, just if you're trying to get on, you know, if you're trying to find a good local company, a good regional company, this is where it's at, man. It feels like, you know, there was actually, you know, for a long time, I was really trying to get on with Costco. Costco actually pays more per hour for local driving. That's all Costco does is local for their private fleet. Everything else is third party. As far as Walmart, though, they've got local and regional, and they do team driving as well. You know, if you work out of a general merchandise, a GM DC, those guys tend to go much further out. Their territories are much larger. If you work out of a grocery DC, which is all the experience I have, whether it was Walmart dedicated or, you know, what I'm about to do, God willing, down here in DFW, it's all, you know, all I've had is grocery experience. But the GM guys, the guy that referred me, he is a GM guy, and yeah, there's some good opportunities, man, no matter what you're doing. So anyway, there was a Costco guy in our class, and I've been trying to get on with Costco for a long time. Like I reapply every 90 or 60 days or whatever it is, and never get a call back. He was able to get on with them, and I think he was still currently employed with them. I don't think he had put in his 2 weeks. And this was the gentleman that decided like this probably wasn't for him. But there's some things about Costco I realized, like, okay, like even though I'm making a little bit less per hour with this position versus what Costco starts their drivers at, man, like the quality of life difference. Oh my God. Their schedule is brutal based on what he was telling me. He said you work 5 days a week, but you don't get 2 consecutive days off. Which is like, dude, that's like entry level, like I'm 18 out of high school working type of schedule, you know, and the hours all over the place. Like you start at 2 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon. And which means like, if you're pulling a 14-hour shift, man, you're not getting home till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Or sometimes you start around that time. Like it just, schedules all over the place. You don't get 2 consecutive days off. Definitely not on the weekends. Like it's just, it's rough. It sounded rough. Like, but they do get plenty of overtime. You know, with this position, I was told you get overtime when it's available. And so I figured like, hey, even if I don't get that much overtime, I've got, you know, my quality of life is just about to just based on the schedule they offer. You know, it's, if you're local, it's either 312s or 410s. If you're regional, it's like a 5.2 or a 6.3. I'm not entirely sure, but this is just based on what I've heard. And they have other things for regional guys. You can make a little more money there for sure. For local, I've heard someone was telling me that there's a local guy making over 6 figures. So God willing, I'm one of those guys, you know. So yeah, that's my Walmart experience onboarding. If you got any questions, shoot them down in the comments. I'll gladly answer them. Shoot me an email if you would like a referral. You know, I can definitely help you out with that, answer any other particular questions you got. And yeah, guys, I'll update you, let you know how orientation goes. So I've just gone through onboarding. Now I'm just waiting to go through orientation at my DC, get my uniform and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll be assigned to a mentor. And I think I spend like a week or 2 weeks with the mentor, and then they'll finally set me loose. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Like I said, if you need a referral, if you got questions, let me know. Take care, guys.